Errol is a young boy living in a fantasy world where every person receives a blessing in the form of a class granted by their goddess. This class determines what they'll eventually grow up to be, and it's revealed to them once they reach 10 years of age. Today marks Errol's big moment, since he has just turned 10 and is about to be assigned his class. His parents and sister are thrilled, imagining what kind of impressive class Errol might get, though he himself seems uninterested in the whole system. After breakfast, the family moves quickly toward the church, where a priest stands beside an altar. One by one, he announces each child's class, as some turn out to be blacksmiths while others become chefs. Errol's sister explains that classes are partly influenced by what their parents' classes are, so he will probably receive something amazing. When Errol's number is called, he steps up to the priest. Everyone whispers excitedly, wondering what legendary class he'll obtain, since his mother is a sword saint and his father an archmage. But when the priest presses his hand to Errol's forehead, nothing happens. Looking down at the boy with pity, he tells him he was born without a class. A few days pass. Errol's parents try lifting his mood by assuring him he doesn't need to stress about employment and can always live comfortably in their basement. But Errol isn't worried about himself at all. He tells his family he has been practicing swordsmanship since he was small, training day after day without stopping. Even without a swordsman class, he believes he can carve out a place in the world through the sheer training he's done under his overpowered mother. Later on, Errol hears noise coming from the training grounds. There he spots two boys sparring, their fundamentals shaky, yet their blades strengthened by their swordsman classes. They see him watching and demand to know why he's standing there. He replies that he came to practice, which makes them burst out laughing. They insist that someone without a class could never spar with real swordsmen. But when Errol asks if they want to spar with him, they accept, thinking he must be joking. Before the duel starts, one of them asks if Errol has divine protection, a barrier every person is born with to keep them safe. Errol nods, but adds that he doesn't need divine protection to beat kids like them, which infuriates the boy. The fight begins. Errol effortlessly blocks every blow, stunning the two. When one tries sneaking around from behind, Errol dodges with ease. He defeats them both without any effort, leaving them bawling about how unfair it was. Suddenly, a red-haired boy steps into the ring, shouting at them as if they were on a battlefield. He challenges Errol, claiming Errol only won because of his mother's natural abilities. He introduces himself as the son of Captain Evans, the leader of the village guards. Errol still remembers the captain, yet the boy standing before him looks nothing like the man he knew. They begin their duel. The red-haired boy attacks fueled by anger, which only makes his movements sloppy. Errol waits for an opening and lunges forward, but the boy counters with aerial slashes. Errol is struck, though not defeated. A few days pass, and Errol starts training in the forest, trying to recreate the twin slash that once beat him. Suddenly, a goblin jumps out to ambush him, but he kills it easily using that very twin slash. A massive roar then shakes the entire forest, prompting Errol to investigate. He discovers the red-haired boy wounded, fighting a towering hobgoblin. Errol sneaks around and delivers a twin strike from behind, instantly killing the hobgoblin. The boy is stunned. Errol tells him that with enough practice and skill, anyone can reproduce any technique. The boy demands a rematch. They duel again, and this time Errol blocks the attack and adds a third slash, knocking the boy flat on the ground. As time passes, Errol proves that the only real limits he has are his own skill and effort. 5 years later, he begins a journey to Brea, a kingdom famous for its swordsmanship. He travels with a barbarian and a dual-wielding woman, both heading to Buya to refine their abilities. Along the road, orcs ambush them, but Errol defeats the entire group alone using unmatched speed, precision, and battle-tested techniques. When they finally reach Brea, he discovers that tournament participation requires membership in a guild. He tries joining several, but each one rejects him for being classless. A blonde girl then introduces him to Dragon Fong, a once legendary guild that has long since declined. He joins and meets her father, an old drunk, as well as a red-haired woman named Ri. Ri instantly recognizes Errol as the classless swordsman who once defeated her. She challenges him and they fight. Ri, a power-type swordsman, strikes with force, while Errol counters using techniques he mastered through sheer dedication. The guild begins preparing for upcoming tournaments, determined to reclaim their former status. Errol trains with Ri and the blonde girl, learning fresh techniques and honing himself for what lies ahead. They eventually face Black Blade, the strongest guild, in a series of matches. Errol defeats multiple top-ranked swordsmen through speed, strategy, and the abilities he earned through relentless practice, leaving spectators stunned. Dragon Fong emerges victorious, gaining funds and renewed recognition. Back at the guild, celebrations break out, and various interactions hint at future adventures and training. Errol rejects romantic advances, choosing instead to focus on building the guild's strength and pushing his own limits. He ventures into dungeons with Ri and the blonde girl, battling magical knights and countless monsters, slowly increasing his power. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell notification.